So, okay.
Okay, so it looks like Mr. Chris has some water going here.
Oh, yeah, he's running the
Dishwasher.
and also I think he started the laundry machine dryer.
Okay, so that's what I thought was going to happen, is it's right after the connection of the cast iron within the house connecting to the crack pipe. So right here is your cast iron. No, it's not cast iron. Hang on. No, we're a long ways away from cast iron because we're going across the basement floor. Should be coming up right away. Yeah, I don't really see even. You know what? I'm going to see if he'll stop. Can you see if he'll stop the dishwasher just for a minute?
Yeah.
Just open the door on it. I don't want to miss any cracks on the bottom of the pipe or anything due to not being able to see it. Yeah, it makes me wonder. I think your cast iron to clay connection is probably under your front porch, which is not good, in case you ever had to replace it. You know, being so close. I've already pulled back enough to be at that location now. But hopefully, if you ever need to, if he lives there forever and he needs to replace something, you just go from the first connection out. You know, as long as it's good. Yep. Thank you.
Yep.
That's good. Let off really quick. These connections all look really good. Like I said earlier, I'm more concerned that's just calcium buildup there around the connection, and how you get rid of that is the same way that you get rid of tree root, and you use an expandable cutter. So it goes in closed up and opens to the wall on the inside of the pipe and cuts.
Do you think that's severe enough to have to take care of?
Not yet. Nope.
Did you see any roots or anything in the front yard?
Nothing.
Wow.
Nothing. So I did see where you could see where they had a snake. So somebody's maintained this system.
Okay. So maybe.
And I don't know how that is because this cap was hell to get off. So hasn't been off in a long time. So luckily you don't have tree root in there.
Awesome.
What happens? What I was going to explain is now this section of pipe is 4-inch diameter. You could be full of tree root. You can have 4 inches of tree root in there, right? A lot of contractors will come out with a 2-inch cutter and put a 2-inch hole through your 4-inch tree root. And then 3 months later, you're like, what happened? I thought they just did this, you know?
Yeah.
So that's why you want to use those expandable cutters.
Gotcha.
But that buildup right there is not a...
No, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to, with a house this age, I'm always going to say at the bottom, you should have a camera inspection like every 3 to 4 years.
Okay, so keep an eye on that. See if
to
it's
stay
growing.
ahead of everything.
Okay.
Yep. So like I said, here's your crack pipe to your cast connection. Cast iron pipe within the foundation. And as you can see, that's pretty heavily scaled.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And how would you address that? Is that
you will address that only when you have to address it because you're going to have to go through the floor.
okay?
You're going to have to go.
So there's no homeowner
No.
Drano that you could use or something like that. No.
None of that stuff really works. And like the crack pipe, you have coupling connections on each section, right, that connects them together.
Mm-hmm.
They deteriorate, and that's how the tree root gets in. When it comes to cast iron, it scales like a snake, right? And I've seen it so heavily scaled that I'm pushing scale on the bottom of, with my camera. So it's not that bad, and you probably have
Is that like slow growth over time then?
yeah, and you probably have quite a bit of life left.
Okay.
But yeah, it's just something you want to stay ahead of so that you don't come down the basement someday, 6 years from now, and find your basement flooded with water.
Gotcha.
It looks a lot better here than it did up there by the connection of the crack pipe. And now it looks like it's getting a little heavily scaled again, yep. And it's very hard to see cracks and everything when it comes to, yep, when it comes to cast iron. Yeah, that's really heavily right there. And here's where 27 feet out. Okay, good. Glad that stopped. Because if you have a big enough belly in here, and you can see that there's scale here,
Yeah.
and what's happening here is all your toilet paper and stuff like that's getting held up on this rough surface now. So it's, you know, it's in here. What I would do when you first move into this house is turn on all the water, take a nice hose with a heavy nozzle on it, stick it into here, because you want to go from here, you want to clean all this out, and just let the water run for 20 minutes or so, 25 minutes, yep, and just cold, you don't need nothing hot, and just to try to clear this out a little bit.
Okay.
You can see it's starting to lose its pitch here.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really bad right here. This is really heavily scaled, and now we're a little bit underwater. And the problem with underwater is, if you've got underwater here, let's say where you're standing, and everything's dumping into this, coming down the stack and everything, you could actually back up into the floor drains. You know, so you know, it's just something you really want to keep an eye on. Yeah, this is, see all the debris in here? And a lot of this debris is what's holding a lot of this water back too. It might not, you might not be that bellied once you clean this out, right?
All of this is under this floor.
Mm-hmm. And you're probably, you know, 11, 12 inches under. So you have to saw cut that and get that replaced. Yeah, that was. Yeah, I don't think my camera dipped, so that's a good thing. If it dipped right there, then you know you're really getting thin. Yeah.
That's a lot in there.
Mm-hmm. And that's some scale too. There's some scale in there. Yeah, it's really. Yeah, I'm just about to pull out of this line, and it's worse right here than anywhere.
There's no like snake process or anything that could be done to kind of break that up and flush it through, or
No, the only thing that you could do is water jet it with, you know, not